Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today, we're looking at the world of Bitcoin mining with Bit Digital, ticker symbol BTBT.
Yeah, crypto is wild right now. So much happening, it's hard to keep up.
To start, Bit Digital is a Bitcoin mining company. They use powerful computers to, solve really complex math problems, and when they do, they get rewarded with Bitcoin.
Basically, but it's not that easy. It takes a ton of specialized equipment and a lot of know-how. Bit Digital is one of the big players in the industry, and people are noticing how they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Their stock, BTTT, closed at $3.05 on January 29th, 2025. That's up over 2% from the day before. But get this, it went between $2.92 and $3.09 during the day. What a ride. What do you think about that kind of volatility?
Volatility in the crypto world, well, it's risky. It can be really good for making a profit fast if you're okay with the risk.
Makes you wonder why it's happening.
Yeah, big swings like we're seeing with Bit Digital make it hard to know what's going to happen next.
Is there anything happening with Bit Digital that might explain all this?
Actually, yeah, there are a couple things. On January 1st, 2025, Bit Digital became a domestic issuer.
Okay.
And that might sound kind of technical, but it's a big deal. It means they're playing by the same rules as companies in the U.S., more transparency for investors.
Okay, I see.
That could be part of why the price went up. Investors like knowing what's going on.
Transparency is always good, but is that all there is to it?
Well, we can't just look at one thing. Becoming a domestic issuer is good, but BT is still trading below its 50-day and 200-day moving averages. And those are like trend lines investors use to see where a stock is headed. And right now, those indicators are kind of a warning sign. They're saying there might be a negative trend.
Okay, so becoming a domestic issuer is a good thing, but the market trends aren't so good.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about the new GPU contract Bit Digital got. What's that about?
Well, this new contract is for Bit Digital to provide 464 NVIDIA B200 GPUs. This replaces an old agreement for a lot more H100 GPUs. The new contract will make about $15 million per year, and they'll start using these GPUs in Iceland on June 30th, 2025.
Okay, so they're making good money, but with different GPUs than they planned. What do you think? Is this good for Bit Digital?
It's complicated. Revenue is always good, especially right now, but this change in GPUs is interesting. The B200s aren't as powerful as the H100s, so why the change? Is it hard to get the better hardware? Are they changing their focus? These are questions investors should ask.
So maybe a step back in how powerful the GPUs are, but still a big contract.
Yeah.
What else should investors think about with this news?
Well, we got to remember that Bitcoin itself has recently gone back up to $102,000.
Right.
Usually when Bitcoin prices go up, mining stocks like BTBT go up too.
Okay.
But this time it's different. We're not seeing Bit Digital go up that much. There's a disconnect there, and it makes you think other things are going on.
So the price of Bitcoin matters, but it's not the only thing affecting these stocks. Why do you think Bit Digital isn't going up like Bitcoin right now?
Well, what's happening with the company and in the whole industry plays a part, for sure. We got to remember they just became a domestic issuer, which could be confusing some people. But looking at the whole industry, there have been some good signs lately. Like President Trump signed an executive order on digital financial technology back in January, and the SEC got rid of SAB 121.
Okay.
Both of those things could mean good things for the whole crypto industry.
Sounds like investors have to pay attention to a lot of things, company news, industry trends, what Bitcoin's price is doing.
It is a lot.
And there's also more competition in crypto mining now too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like Binance is expanding a lot, getting new Bitcoin miners in Nebraska and looking to grow in the US and Canada. That competition could be affecting Bit Digital too.
So much going on. Competition, regulations, Bitcoin changing price, and company news. Okay, let's talk about how Bit Digital is doing financially. What's the situation right now?
Well, their Q4 2024 earnings are coming out March 25th, 2025. Analysts think their net sales are going to jump a lot from $24.8 million in Q4 2024 to $46.9 million by Q4 2025, which is pretty impressive.
That's a big jump. Are they making money yet?
Not yet, but they're getting close. Their EBITDA, which basically tells you how profitable their operations are, is predicted to go up from $15.1 million to $22.5 million in that same time. What's really interesting is they might actually start making money by Q1 2025, with earnings possibly getting to $7.81 million by Q4 2025.
Okay, so their finances are looking better. That's something for potential investors to think about. But let's get to the important part. With all this info, what does it all mean for someone who's thinking about investing in BTBT? Should they go for it, wait, or run away?
That's the big question. There's no easy answer because, like we've been talking about, there are good things and bad things. Those financial projections look good. If BitDigital actually does that well, it could really make the stock price go up. But we can't forget that the crypto market changes really fast and unexpected things can happen.
So it's about how much risk you're willing to take. What advice would you give to someone trying to figure this out?
Well, I always say do your research. You got to understand the company, the industry, and how much risk you're okay with.
Right? Investing, especially with crypto, shouldn't be like gambling.
Exactly. And speaking of risk, there's one we haven't talked about yet, the technology. Mining hardware changes all the time, so what's really good today might be outdated tomorrow. Investors need to think about if BitDigital is keeping up with the changes and if they're investing in the right stuff to stay competitive.
Yeah, like a tech race to be the best miner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about how much BitDigital stock has been changing, them becoming a domestic issuer, the new GPU contract, their finances, and what's happening in the whole crypto mining industry. Seems like BT has both good and bad things going on.
That's what makes this so interesting. You got to stay on top of things and be ready for anything.
For sure, never a dull moment with crypto. So, to help our listeners out, what are the important things they should focus on when thinking about BT?
I'd say keep an eye out for their Q4 2024 earnings coming out March 25th, 2025. Those numbers will show us how they're actually doing compared to what we talked about. If they do as well as expected or better, it could make investors feel a lot better about the company.
So March 25th is important for BT. Got it. What else should our listeners pay attention to between now and then?
Definitely keep an eye on Bitcoin's price. Like we said, mining stocks usually go up when Bitcoin goes up. If Bitcoin keeps going up, it could be good for BTBT, but if it goes down, it could bring the mining stocks down with it.
It's all connected. What about the other companies in the industry? We talked about Binance getting bigger, but are there others our listeners should know about?
Oh yeah, there are tons of companies and new ones all the time. Some of the big names are Riot Blockchain, Marathon Digital Holdings, and Hut 8 Mining. It's always a good idea to look into the competition and see how BitDigital measures up.
Makes sense. And lastly, any thoughts on regulations? We talked about President Trump's executive order and the SEC getting rid of SAB 121. Think we'll know more about what's happening in the crypto world soon.
That's hard to say. Regulations always change, and it's tough to guess what's next. But I think it's safe to say more regulations are coming. The question is, what will they be like, and how will they affect companies like BitDigital?
Something to watch, for sure. Regulations could either help or hurt crypto.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings up a really important point for any investor. What's your plan? Are you in it for the long run or looking for quick profits? How much risk are you okay with? And most importantly, does BitDigital fit into your investment goals and what you already have?
Those are good questions to ask. It's not just about picking stocks. It's about making a plan that works for you and your situation. We've given you a lot to think about with BitDigital, but at the end of the day, it's your choice whether to invest or not.
That's right. We've shown you what's going on, the good and the bad, and given you things to think about. Now it's up to each person to do their own research and decide what's best for them. Investing is about taking control of your own financial future.
Well said. Okay, that's our look at BitDigital. Hopefully you understand this company better now and know more about the exciting world of crypto mining. We've talked about a lot, but it's really just the beginning. Crypto is always changing, so keep learning and asking questions.
Definitely. And remember, investing is a journey. Have fun with it.
Great advice. Big thanks to our expert for sharing their knowledge with us. Always great to have you on Investing Talk Podcast.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy these conversations.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in to Investing Talk Podcast. If you like today's episode, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave a comment telling us what you think about the future of BTBT. Until next time, happy investing.
It really is. And, something we haven't touched on yet is BitDigital's financials. Their Q4 2024 earnings come out on March 25th, 2025, and analysts are predicting some big changes.
Okay, let's look at the numbers. What are they predicting?
Well, net sales are expected to jump from $24.8 million in Q4 2024 to $46.9 million by Q4 2025.
Wow, that's a big jump. What about, are they going to be profitable soon?
Not yet, but they're getting close. EBITDA, which is basically how profitable their operations are, should improve from $15.1 million to $22.5 million in the same period. And here's the interesting part. They're projected to actually become profitable, in terms of net income, by Q1 2025, with earnings possibly reaching $7.81 million by Q4 2025.
So their financials are looking up. But we've talked about a lot of factors. What should listeners consider when weighing these potential financial gains against the risks?
Yeah, that's the key question. You have to look at the whole picture. Those projections look good, and if Bit Digital hits those targets, it could really boost the stock price. But we can't forget how volatile the crypto market is. Things change fast, and there are always surprises. It's all about balancing the potential rewards with the risks.
So BTBT is a bit of a gamble then. What would you tell someone who's deciding whether to invest?
Do your research. Don't just jump in because someone told you to or you saw the price go up. Take some time to understand Bit Digital, their business, their financials, and how the whole crypto world works. Know how much risk you're okay with and only invest what you can afford to lose. Knowledge is power when it comes to investing.
I agree, investing, especially in crypto, takes careful thought in understanding the risks.
Absolutely. And it's not just about Bit Digital. You need to understand the whole industry. How do people feel about crypto in general? What's happening with regulations? Who are the big players? These are all important things to think about.
So it's not just about picking a stock. It's about making a plan that works for you and your goals. We've given you a lot to think about today, but ultimately, it's up to you whether to invest in BTBT.
Exactly. We've shown you the situation, the good and the bad, and given you some things to consider. Now it's up to each listener to do their own research and decide what's best for them. Investing is about taking control of your own money.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our look at Bit Digital. I hope you all have a better understanding of this company and the exciting world of cryptocurrency mining. We've covered a lot, but there's always more to learn. The crypto world is always changing, so stay curious, keep learning, and never stop asking questions.
For sure, and remember, investing is a journey. Enjoy the ride.
Great advice. Thanks to our expert for being here today and sharing your insights. It's always a pleasure to have you on Investing Talk podcast.
Thanks for having me. I always enjoy these discussions.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on Investing Talk podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about it, and leave us a comment with your thoughts on BT's future. Until next time, happy investing.